temperatures. Let's see. Marcy's here.
Are there any prayer requests today? Well, it seems like September just has no end to the natural disasters, and so I hope we'll consider today all the folks in Puerto Rico who are truly suffering, perhaps even worse than when the storm first came through. So will you bow with me, please? Oh God, our Creator, bless this gathering of fellow Rotarians today. Help us continue to see those in need and give us the strength to serve our community and the world as we should. In this era of divisive discourse in public speech and in private lives, grant us the wisdom and courage to speak up for what unites rather than what divides. Let us put down hatred between people and groups and commit ourselves to serve humbly, willingly, as a body united, to strengthening relationships and bettering this earth we all share as home. We are grateful for our many blessings, O God. Soften our hearts to be sensitive and loving as we serve together as Rotarians, and help us to live so that we may enhance the future of those whose lives we touch. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Please join me with a pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the
truth? Is fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you. You may be seated. Cecil.
Rick, I've been practicing that.
Oh, okay. At least it wasn't President Ed.
Welcoming a visiting Rotarian back with us. Rex, always good to have you with us today. Rex Taylor. Are you still living in Florida, or are you just going to come join us? Not to put any pressure on you. You don't have to answer that. And making up this week, Steve Neal made us at Silver Rotary on 9/28. And Mark, you want to mention the open door makeups?
Let's see. I don't have my list, but I think we can do that. We've got Reg and Howard and who else is here? Why don't you guys just stand up real quick? There we go. Yeah.
Thank you for all your help.
Yeah, these guys do work real hard, and thank you very much. Appreciate that.
And Bill Lloyd, you want to have the backpack delivery folks stand up?
I'll stand up. Marcy, Carlisle, Charles, Lynn Hill. Leroy.
I'll stand in Leroy's place.
All right.
Thank you. Well, I got you all compact. What I've tried to do is I got rid of the cheater table over there where everyone gets up and I've had to move it all back in here so you feel more guilty if you get up and leave the program. Just kidding. But I like it. Everyone's together. Pretty funny. Very good. Any guests down to my left-hand side over here?
I just want to make a comment.
Yes, please.
I've done Rotarian for about 50 years, and I had it first happen to me today. 6 good-looking women in my
We all noticed that.
all night.
We were up here sitting, we're going, what's all the girls doing over there in the back corner? And I said, well, Dave looks like he's having a good time back there. Absolutely.
That ought to get you
Well, if he wants to know if that's the new cheater table.
Bill.
I think David Rice needs to put $6 happy dollars in it.
We're coming. I like it. I like it. Any guests in the middle that I don't see? Yeah? And to my right? Good. All right. Let's see. Why do I have Cecil back up here again? Oh, I think I skipped it. All right, let's go to the happy dollars. Any happy dollars to be sought out here? Anybody got any good news? Anything? Yes, sir, Larry.
Last week, we were blessed with the birth of our 8th grandchild.
All right.
Wow.
Wow.
And Our daughter, her mother, and baby are doing fine.
Excellent. We're good too. Anybody else around here? Oh, he is digging in his pocket. Thank you, sir. That's legit. Anything else? Oh, Buffy.
It's a TDA dollar.
That's fine.
Not really, no. It's a Buffy dollar. No, we have a street dance tonight. The North Carolina Gold Wing rally is this weekend, but we have a street dance tonight. And it's 6 to 8. The hours are a little different. They're arriving. No,
Yes, they are.
6 to 8. Same place, just a little bit different. We start a half hour earlier and end an hour earlier.
So, what, the Gold Wing, they're going to be riding their bikes
Yes,
through winter?
yes.
Oh, really?
When they're at the fairgrounds on 209 all day,
Oh.
but they will have a parade into town.
Hmm.
So they will
Very cool.
arrive before
Very
the
good.
street dance, and
Very
we
good.
have the Whitewater Bluegrass and the Jay Creek Cloggers.
Excellent. Excellent. Good time. Anybody else? No? Okay, once, twice, and three. Thank you. Sign-up sheets. I got them back on the table back there. And we have, let's see, Mr. Napco is not here, so we've got the Christmas baskets, sign-up sheets that are back there on the table. Mark Bumgardner, you don't have a sign-up sheet back there yet, do you?
No, not yet.
Okay, that's for the open door come up, but we just got done with that. Also back there is the sign-up sheet for the hot dog stand we're having at the Church Street Festival. June, are you here?
I'm here.
Would you like to just to say a little bit?
We need help.
We're gonna need help. We're gonna have 3-hour shifts?
People, yes, 3 hours.
3-hour shifts, morning, midday, and then in the afternoon. Probably arrive about 7:30 in the morning, and we'll probably leave out of there about like 6 o'clock in the evening. And we're gonna need all the help we can. It's a great time, it's a lot of fun. We ordered, I said 1,000, right? We got 1,000 hot dogs this year. We blew out of 500, I would say, what, maybe 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours last time we did it? So I think we can probably do the same thing again this year if we do it right. So if I were you, sign up in the afternoon. You may not have to show up, but no, please do, sign up. We need help. Please go back, sign up there, and put next to your name the time you'd like to show up, please. Yes, Cecil?
And if Tom were here today, he would tell you that through today, we've got 179 Christmas baskets pledged for probably a total in excess of 500. And the ones that are on here today will be billed in October the 15th. So if you want to add some now to lower your Christmas bill, that'll come out in January, feel free to do it today. If not, you will still be billing after October, marking after October, but billing in January.
Thank you, Cecil. Thank you very much.
I would like to say that Bill's SWAT team can push 500 hot dogs in 3 hours at the block party, so
Okay.
I know they have guns, but
All right, well, we're going to find out.
I think you could do
I'm
1,000
sure
hot
we
dogs.
probably can do whatever has to be done.
And if you can't work it, you could come by one.
That's true, very
Well, he's a
true.
Rotarian. He can
And I
show up
think
with
that's
his
all we
stuff.
got back there. What's that?
I said, he's a Rotarian, he can show up with his stuff.
That's right, certainly good. Cart buckets on your tables. Please be generous with the cart buckets.
President Rick,
Buff, yes?
I have one more thing.
Please.
Terry's not here today, but we have our Rotary Work Day at Habitat on the 19th. So anybody and everybody that can come, we would really appreciate it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for telling us, yes, skipped
Thank
on
you.
that. So that's gonna be October 19th, right?
Yeah.
And that is going to be from 8 o'clock in the morning.
8:30
8:30.
till around 3, but just come in whenever you can and work as long as you want.
Thank you very much. And that's over at the
Walton Woods.
Walton Woods.
Yes.
Oh, okay, very good. Buffy, you got something coming up?
Oh, welcome table. Second Wednesday,
Okay,
and I can't tell you the date.
I don't know what the date is. Don't know. Second Wednesday of the month. That's the 11th?
Second Wednesday in the month, always the second Wednesday in the month at Bocelli's. And what is it?
The 11th.
The 11th, okay. It helps to just let me know so that we have a better idea at Bocelli's, because they do set the table for us.
Yeah. So please, let us know if you're coming. It's a great time. New members, you're invited. That was once known as the new members meeting, but we wanted to open it up for everybody.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
12 noon.
Thank you.
What's the date again?
Yes, Mark.
I would just mention that past President Ed has been mentioning over the last couple of weeks that the Open Door is having a fundraiser tomorrow, Saturday, at Haywood Community College. I don't know off the top of my head what time that is, but they have a good group of folks and some good entertainment, and it's certainly for a good cause. So if you get an opportunity to join them at the Open Door fundraisers, that would be wonderful.
Thank you, Mark, for bringing that up. Important dates. Next Friday, our next meeting that we're going to have is going to be at the First United Methodist Church for the Kiwanis Club Barbecue. We are going to have a speaker, believe it or not. We weren't going to have one, and then the district has set us up with, what's her name? Jenny Lee. I can't remember her last name, I apologize. And she's going to speak to us. She is the recipient of our scholarship through the district, and so she wants to speak. We're going to let her speak. October 9th is our board meeting. That's the second Monday? The second Monday of October. October 14th is our Church Street Festival. October 19th, besides Habitat, is going to be the Rotary Oktoberfest at the Highland Brewery in Asheville from 6 to 8 p.m. Sign-up sheet also went back for that. October 21st is the Apple Harvest Festival. So those are your dates. I got an email from the district, and they are requesting if we at all are thinking of doing any type of a global grant. I told them we haven't really pushed it or thought about it, but if any of you are even thinking of coming and talking to somebody in Rotary about a global grant for somebody, it has to be in, at least tell the district that you're thinking about it by October 4th. After October 4th, they will not take any more global grants applications. So, something to think about for a couple days. If you have anything on your mind or in the back of your head that you're thinking about for a global grant, it's got to be into the district by October 4th. Anything else everybody can think of? All right. Very good. The program today, Jack, do you want to introduce our speaker today?
Yes.
Here's
Ricky.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Rick.
You got to do your drawing.
I know. Just saying. I just saw it. I was in the wrong bucket.
I can do a formal introduction if you'd like me to.
No, that's fine. Thank you very much. Oh, here, you hold on to this. Hold on to that. Don't let that go. Last chance. I got it. Alrighty, let's see. No guests here today. Let me see. Thank you very much. All right, tickets out. Last three digits are 605.
That'd be me.
All right.
Jack. All right, there we go.
I could have bought one. It was the first one.
Here we go. I shuffled these last time, so we're going to try it again.
Yeah.
No, he tears them up.
I don't know what we're down to. We're probably down to about 47, 46 cards.
And about how much money?
We're well over $400.
I'm gonna take.
We're looking for the joker.
That one right there.
Whichever one you want.
There you go.
Ace of hearts.
All right.
It rolls over.
Joker.
Yeah, we're looking for the joker. If you find the joker, you win the pot. Well, whatever you want to do. Yes, half the pot. So, rolls back over, so we'll find out. Cecil, try to get a total on that for me if you can. Because it's an incentive. I mean, this is like the lotto. All right. I'd like to introduce one of our esteemed members for our program today. Hopefully we'll be able to help you out in any way we can with getting some information off the computer. Are you ready there, young fella?
Well, you said it's Steve, I thought you wanted.
Oh, no. We'll go with you first.
We're gonna do Neil first.
This way you can take, this way you take as long as you want, and if Neil wants to go long, we're just gonna leave. That's all good. Which way?
That was something.
You're welcome.
All right. There will be a test at the end of this, so you want to pay attention. And thanks to, Tiffany stepped out of the room. She's providing the winner of the top score with a special present award. And it's an under-socialized, aggressive pit bull, and she brought a picture of it. So whoever wins, just see Tiffany to pick up your prize later on. That's ATM security. There's a pretty little series of pictures there. So today, the board has asked me to talk with you a little bit about kind of ongoing education about electronic tools that we have at our availability, and well, that's not a good sign, is it? There it is. So what we're going to focus on primarily today is the calendar that is available to you. Trying to encourage folks to use it. You will get a free gift of a PDF file that has the step-by-step instructions. You can put it in your bird cage or your dog's concern there either way. But the calendar resides on the district's website. It does not reside on our individual. So in order to get to it, you have two ways you can get there, and you can go to WaynesvilleRotary.org. This is going to be hard. And of course, it will pull up this is the website for our club that we do locally. It's pretty simple. But to get to well, before I get there, let me say one word about makeup so we don't come back to it. Thanks to President Rick, you can do makeups now by watching our meetings, and we'll be building the links here. You can see, hopefully you can see that's the August 25th one is already there, and I'll put a couple more up. So you can go and click on that and watch what we're videoing for the meeting, and then just send me an email. The instructions are in there, and we'll apply the 4-way test, and I'll give you makeup for it. So to get over to the district database to see a calendar, you go from here. You can go to member directory, and all that is a link over to the district. You are now once you get to this point, you are now off of our website. You're over on the district's database, and it's going to ask you to put in your username and your password. And again, your username is your email address, and your password is, if you haven't changed it, it's your Rotary International ID number, which is on the mailing label of the Rotary magazine. You can change it once you get in there and make something you can remember. Once you do that, which I encourage you to do, once you do that, I can't see it to tell you what it is, but I can send you through an email. If you can't remember it or find it, I can send you the information, blindly send it to you. You do not have to put in the club number, just ignore that. And if you're on a public computer, do not check Remember Me anywhere at any time for anything, because that's going to give the next person that comes in behind you access to your information. And you may remember that I told you that I use a password program that automatically fills in my information. And then it's going to bring you in. You may see your account. I have a little different security level. You're likely to come in and immediately see your information. But if you don't, and again, we're focusing on the calendar, so you see calendar here up at the top. I'm going to step on this yet. Right here. So all you do is click on that, and it's going to present you with the calendar that is for the entire district. So you want to keep that in mind. That's a lot of information for the whole district plus our club. So you don't want to see all that necessarily every time, so you want to have a way to filter it down, and that happens in this top section up here. And every time I put an event in, I start it with Waynesville Rotary, but if you'll just type Waynes and then hit search now, it will really narrow down what you see. And it'll get it down to those things that apply specifically to our club. There's two different views. This is the list view, and it lets you scroll and you can see the date range from September 17 through March of 19. The calendar's not built out that far for us. But when you're in list view, you can just scroll down the screen and you'll see all the events as they come up. If you want to see a more standard type of calendar view, then you want to go to block. And then it gives you a more traditional looking calendar. And up here you can print to Word, to Excel, or to your printer if you have some reason you want to print this out. I'm going to go back to list view now. And you can, as you see these areas that have check boxes here, these are just further filters. And you can turn them all on by clicking on on right here, and that fills in all your boxes. And then you'll see everything that hits one of those categories. Or you can turn them all off. And when you do search now, it's going to narrow it back down to just Waynes, to the Waynesville Rotary, because that's kind of your top level filter. You can eliminate them one at a time, like I don't know about the district governor's official visit or a multi-district event, and then it will just keep narrowing your view down. Now, this will give you an idea of where hopefully you'll see that you can go in now, and let's say we ask you to sign up for something. Well, we do that generally with all these papers that get either back there or get buried on the table. They get to the first or second table and don't go to everybody else. Or it may just be inconvenient to do it here. So let's pick the Waynesville Rotary Church Street Arts and Crafts Festival. That's on there. And I want to register for it. So I'm going to go to, I'm already registered for it. Let me go to Open Door. I'll drop down to our next open door on the 26th. So I'm going to just go to register now. And you can see up at the top that it's 2 shifts, 9 to 11, 11 to 1, stuff you already know. And you will not see this. You will only officers and club president sees that. But you'll see register now. And you click on that. And then you're going to come to the next screen, and it'll be pre-filled hopefully for you. You can add, if it's an event like the Christmas social where you want to add your spouse or another guest, you can add another person. Or if, in this case, Open Door, we're just going to hit continue. And it tells me that I've So I've made my selection here, and this really is just a review screen. Then I'm going to proceed to confirmation, and it's going to tell me, yep, you're there. So I'm verifying it, and I'm hitting confirm selections. And then if it is an event that you want to print out, most of these are not, but if it's something that you do want to print out, and particularly if we get into something where you can pay for it and you want to save a receipt, you'd be able to print this out. But this really isn't anything that we need to do that. So the event is confirmed now, and Mark would go in, and I'll show you that in a minute, but it'll begin to populate a list that the coordinator of the event can get in and see who's registered. One thing I'd point out is that once you went in and you started the registration process, if you look up here, you see we have a new tab that says confirmation, and all that is the website is taking you to a new page, and you'll notice there's nothing there that says back to home or anything like that, which is kind of poor design, but be that as it may. So to leave that and go back to the calendar, you just close out of it. Just hit on that extra X that's up there. And now we're back to our schedule here. Now, again, in this action column here, everybody won't see all this. But let's say you scheduled and 2 days later you find out, oops, I can't do that. So you can also cancel your registration by hitting regrets, and it takes you to the regrets screen, and you can fill out the reason if you want to. President Rick made me mad. So that's a good reason. And then you submit your regret, and you're now out of the list. Then you want to go back and look at the calendar again, and you just click on View Club Calendar. This is pretty straightforward as far as following straight steps. You'll see that it wiped out all the filters you had in there, so you're literally just back to a new look. So I'll put Wayne's back in and get it narrowed back down again. I'll just see if I can show you. What Mark or me or Rick or Terry would see. And that Mark, I think you've probably done this. You see quick view, and this is the list that the coordinator would see, and you can see that that my name and everything's filled in, and of course, the more people that use this, the longer that list will go. Any questions about that?
I noticed when you registered for Open Door, there wasn't, you couldn't make a choice for what time. It was just that you're registering for Open Door, and then
right.
There's no.
I hadn't found a way to break it down between the shifts yet. And I don't know if I didn't notice if there's a comment section, but I'll try to find. The way I would have to do that is create 2 separate events, which I'm fine with doing if that would be helpful.
No, I'm just noticed that.
Yeah. Tiffany.
Does the website have the ability to sync with other calendars? That, like, I use Google Calendar. Will it sync if I sign up for something to mine? Do you know?
I think so, but I'm not positive exactly how that works. And there's a way to go to a universal calendar, and then that could go in, but I haven't really done that yet.
Are you going to retire the handwritten calendar and go strictly to this, or are we still? Because I just know that I've signed up on here, and then the coordinator didn't realize I'd signed up. So
yes, we're still fine tuning as you note. It's a board decision, of course, but it seems to me that we need both. And we'll get better at coordinating it. And we really only, believe it or not, I think we only have one member now that doesn't have email address and stuff. So again, we're hoping people will make more and more use of this, but I don't know. Rick, you want to chime in on that, or that's just my opinion? Is we still need both. And
Well, at this
that's all
time,
it
I think
is.
we still need both, but we
we
really
need to
need to
sign
do
up on
this,
both, I guess, is my
practice
question.
this and try to repeat yourself and try to keep going and let us know anything, how you feel about it or whatever. But yeah, eventually, hopefully, this will take over and we can just use this, but I can understand using both at this moment.
And there's even a third way that kind of ties into your question there, is when I send out emails reminding you of events that I have, when you hit reply, it doesn't go back to me. If it's Open Door, it goes to Mark. If it's Habitat, the reply goes to Terry. If it's Christmas baskets, it goes to Tom, and so on. So that's even a third way that we're trying to make it available for everybody. We don't want you to have an excuse, I don't know how to get there. So we're trying to cover all the bases. Somebody else, there was another hand up. Larry.
I think my question was answered, and that was, is the bell ringing activities.
Yes. And the bell ringing, because that is so hour shifts, my guess is that this year at least, we'll probably replicate what we've been doing, which is a sign up on our website. I don't see any way to make this work for the bell ringing with that many slots. So I think we'll probably continue with that as we've been doing it. There are other programs that will do it, but they cost money. And so we're trying to avoid adding more cost.
Well, what we have is work.
Yeah, it seems that so far has worked pretty well. And as long as we're with the current host that we are, then it's worked out pretty smoothly, given what could go wrong. It's actually worked, I think, fairly well. Other questions? Well, let me mention, kind of stepping away from this then, and so Neil has plenty of time here. This is the end of the quarter. I sent you all an email about that, which means I'll be doing billing when I get back on the 15th. So you've got a little bit of time. If you have not got your account balance down to zero, please do that. The club can't continue to carry debt that we've incurred. So you've got a little bit of time to clear that. Also, as far as makeups go, the board's policy has been that once the quarter closes, unless I make a mistake, we don't go back and credit makeups. That's not the same as banking them and getting credit in advance, forward. So if you need to do some makeups, and several of you have done some in the last 2 days, please get those done. Again, you can go back and watch our meetings here and just send me a message. Online's still there. Heavens knows there's plenty of opportunities that we do as a club to get some makeups as well. The 2017 toy run, we had our first organizational meeting Wednesday night. That will be Saturday, November the 11th. I will be asking you once again for your assistance with that. We're going to have even greater need this year because we know already we've lost some of our registration folks. So put that on your calendar. I'll get it added on here, and you'll be able to sign up for that. And that will also be a makeup. And I'm still working on the ability to pay your fees online. I met with merchant services. I talked to the merchant services person with UCB, and I got to go to this coming week, and we'll talk about it then about the cost associated. So, Steve.
The Silver Club has makeups that they process online. If you looked at that, okay.
Yeah, is it similar to our videos or?
I don't know how they did it. They just asked me if we were, apparently there's something out there that's a standard process for you report your own makeups online.
It's in DACDB. Do we use DACDB?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
That is
DACDB.
DACDB. Yeah, it's in DACDB.
Okay, well now, and I do get electronic notifications of people who do online makeups. That's different than the videos. The videos don't have a link back.
But I could have reported my makeup yesterday.
Yes.
Using that system according to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and it should, as long as you put in my address, and I should, the executive secretary address, and I should get it.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it went out. Yep. Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. Real quick, June Ray, what are you doing tomorrow?
I'm going on an honor air flight with my dad.
Uh-huh.
And there's World War II vets, Korean, and Vietnam vets for me as well.
All right.
I apologize for not saying that earlier. I noticed that. We may be out of batteries. Yep. Neil?
That'll shut us up.
You're gonna have to speak a little loud, buddy. Sorry, pal. Yes.
Actually, President Rick, I want to thank you for this opportunity and the fact that y'all have used up most of the time. So you don't have to listen to me too much.
Just over the important parts.
I'm going to try to. Actually, I've got to save just a hair bit of time for Mark because he's the guy that keeps up with the numbers, and you'd probably be a little bit interested in that. Your Rotary Club's main charity over many years has been the giving of scholarships to help people increase their knowledge or skills. We have actually come to a new plateau in creating a charitable foundation that your board and the foundation and your Waynesville Rotary Board felt it would be nice to bring the club some history on the development of our foundation and seek your continued support of an effort that you should be really proud of as a Rotarian. The wonderful part of participating in someone's education is to me that you are giving them something that nobody can take away from them. So this effort today is like a two-ring circus. There's two of us here. We've not rehearsed together, and the truth is, we didn't rehearse at all. But anyway, 2 years ago, Will Alsbrook gave a very good slide presentation on our foundation and its development. But I'm going to just give you some notes that I made from a good while back. The Rotary Scholarship began in the early 90s, and it was started up with funds that were donated by the Howard Split family. And if you would, I've got a picture. Circulate one way, one the other. I got a picture of the Howard Split family, and I think it was a great honor for him to be a participant in putting that together with his family, and a lot of other people. Charles Starnes, y'all might know the name as a principal at Tuscola, was a member of the club, and he was the one who really helped them get it started. Howard was a native of New York State. He sold chemicals for 28 years before relocating to Waynesville. He had acquired the Giles Chemical Company. He became a Rotarian in 40. served as president of Rochester, New York's club, and later in 68 and 69, the Waynesville Rotary Club. The flyer that's attached to his picture was probably done in about 1991. There's a picture of him, and I'm sorry I didn't try to put it on the screens. I'm not electronically qualified. But anyway, when he was here in Waynesville in 91, he had 51 years of perfect attendance at that point. By the time he left here and went to Asheville to live in a retirement home, he had over 60 years of perfect attendance. So I think he's a great example of sticking to something that you love and you take care of. I'm going to cut a little short because I really do want Mark to give us some numbers. We work basically through the two organizations in the county that have people who would be going on to colleges. That's the Haywood County Schools Foundation and Haywood Community College. We give scholarships to both of those for different reasons. Haywood Community College was actually started, I believe it's in 1999, I had written in here, by Keith White here. And that was added to the four-year scholarships that we were associating with the University System of North Carolina in Tuscola High School. In the year 2007, 2008, the Rotary Club gave 4 $1,500 scholarships. And in that same year, we created the 501c3 Charitable Foundation. Mark will tell you a little bit more, I think, about what we've done in the past year when he looks at the numbers. But the big board, I'll call you, Rotary Foundation, actually transferred $100,000 to the foundation as a core gift. We had accumulated that over 15, 20 years of scholarships and birthdays and golf tournaments. That $100,000 has grown because we've had some people actually leave some money to it, give it to them in a year's time. We do want that fund to grow. We do not intend to actually spend the core that's been given to us, nor the core that's been added. Two things you should know a foundation does for you. It's a long-term investment, and we hopefully are going to make it better on our returns as we invest it better. And a charitable foundation is one of those issues that you can deduct from your taxes if you are in the mode that you actually list deductions for your taxes. When we created the foundation, charitable scholarships was the big issue that we still were doing, but the documents were written to where we could expand into other areas. A great big example of what's happened is the amount of backpacks. All that money can be run through the foundation. It's a donation. You can use it. But it's as big as their scholarships, actually. Not in core value, but there's a lot of money given to it every year. We have a couple of companies that their employees have given us a lot of money in the amount of backpacks. So, our 501(c) designation is good. And as I close this part of the program, let me just share with you this. Your foundation board is made up of Bill Alsbrook, Karen Denny, myself, Sandy Giles, Ron Leatherwood, Jeff Norris, Susan Sarles. Your current officers are Bill Alsbrook as secretary, Art Baumgartner as assistant treasurer, Jeff Norris is vice president, and I'm president. So with that said, if you have a question, I'll try to answer it. We're gonna turn it over to Mark in a moment. Okay, go for it.
I have a few numbers to share with you as far as our last fiscal year. Fiscal year, of course, running from July 1 through June the 30th. And during this last fiscal year, which ended June the 30th, I'll first of all talk about the Manna backpacks. We started off with $100,861 in the bank. We collected $21,049. We expended $50,303, which actually covers one of the semesters of the prior fiscal year. And then we also used $2,000 of those funds for another little project that's going on, which is, they call it the lunch program. And for kids that want seconds, that can't afford a second helping, because they do charge for those, we put some money in the pot, and the kids go and they get a second helping, and they're not charged for that. They don't really realize that there is a charge for it, but we're covering that, and we did $2,000 towards that program, and they're quite delighted to have that. So at the end of this fiscal year, we're holding $69,606.91 of monies. And so basically in 2015-16, the meal cost was $26,126. In 2016-17, it was $33,083. So I think we can say probably it's going to go up because we're serving a few more backpacks, as you will. So we're looking at somewhere about $35,000 plus in terms of an annual expenditure for those backpacks. So we got at least a couple years that we've got in the bank, so to speak. So it's a great program, and it's going to be around. He has talked about the $100,000 that went into the core funds. Actually, on a cost basis, we've now put in $115,767, and the value of that is $127,858. We previously had those monies, the $100,000 in a CD, and we were earning something less than 1%. And now, with the growth in the fair market value of the accounts, if you will, and of course it's in the stock market, so it does change from day to day, but we're up almost $15,000 in terms of fair market value, and that's a little over 12.5% increase there. So that's better than the less than 1% that we were getting at the time. We also funded scholarships, 3 $1,500 scholarships at Tuscola, plus the girl that we talked about that we're funding. We got a district grant for $2,500, and that came in during this period, and we matched that $2,500. So and I can't call the girl's name, but we expended $5,000 on her behalf, and she's quite delighted, and hopefully we'll hear from her next week then. We also earned a little bit of interest and whatnot, but as of the end of the fiscal period, we had $10,306 in our quote-unquote unrestricted monies that we can use to pay for scholarships, if you will, or other projects if we do have them. And I would say, excuse me, that one of the things we also had during this particular period is we had our poor man's supper, and the net out of that poor man's supper, the last one we had, is $4,963. And so that's a pretty nice little fundraising effort, and that's split between, it was split between the Manna backpack and our unrestricted assets for scholarships. So we'll be looking forward to another round of the poor man's supper come November of this year. Let's see if there's anything else. But we do appreciate our chair, Mr. Inslee. He basically, I was talking about the scholarship. He chased it down, spent many hours trying to figure out how in the world we can get this $2,500, and he accomplished it. And I think we ought to give him a big old hand. Thank you, and Rick as well. So. Any quick questions? Sorry to keep you over there. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, is there anything else for the good of Rotary? Sorry for keeping you a little late, but it was good information. We're adjourned.